Hello, hello, hello. JFM here, gonna give you another video. You know, it's been like about a year since I've released my how I make a comic video, both part 1 and 2. And so I was looking at the both of them the other day, and I was like saying to myself, man, I really should make an update because I've done some changes and all that, and on how I make a comic, how I make a page and all that. So I'm gonna give you this, an update on how I make a comic. I'm gonna show you the process on how I make one page. I'm gonna show you the beginning all the way to the finished product till it's all the way in my binder. So without further ado, let's start this. Okay, the current volume I'm working on is Jeff Taylor Volume 3. Here's the cover, like that. Here's the graphic that's on it. And here's the episode I'm working on right now. Episode number 7, Maria's birthday. It's Jeff's little sister's birthday. And she is very upset because it is a very bad birthday because her friends don't want to come to her party. It's basically, it's because they're busy. But since Maria is so self-centered, she thinks that, they probably hate her. And thus, it leads to her moping and complaining throughout her whole birthday. So Jeff and Taylor try to make her feel better by buying a dress and all that. And yeah, that was the cover, and this is what I call like a summary page. It's like right before the actual comic starts. And I showed this to you how I do this on my last how to make a comic video. So yeah, I have a random character under the spotlight here, my rating, and the whole graphic and everything. Gonna have this in every episode. Now, before I actually start, a pencil drawing on an actual page, I actually write a script. Has all the dialogue and everything. And I, just so I can know what the characters say and which panels they say it. Thus, the little marks here. Now, let me go through how I do this. Okay, number 1, this whole bracket. That is numbered 1. It's one page. Page 1, and this is all the dialogue that happens in that page. Now, each group of dialogue it depends, how I bracket them, mark them, all that. This equals one panel. It doesn't matter what size of the panel it is, it's just a panel. The size of the panel I get to decide through my thumbnail stage. So like you see, this is page 1. And for example, the first panel contains all of this here. The caption, Jeff's house, then Maria, I'm excited about my birthday tomorrow. And Cindy, I'm sure you are. So they will say it in this panel. And so on and so forth. Second panel right here. 3, 4. And the second page. So on and so forth. And I do this until the end. And a little fun fact on how I do each Jeff and Taylor episode. Every episode contains 48 pages. All of them. There are a few exceptions, but I like to maintain a very consistent series. So I make every page the same, pretty much the same, and have every episode have 48 pages. Just so I can have very lengthy. Just like in TV, every 30-minute episode is not really 30 minutes. It's actually like 21, 24 minutes, and they all have to be exactly the same length. But that's just me. Now, how I actually draw up the whole page, I draw off the panels first, and then into the characters, and then the speech bubbles. But before I go into that, this is how I used to do it. I actually draw out the panels by hand with the straight edge with pencil. Well, that's out the window. The new way is doing my panels digitally on the computer right here. So I can get a perfect straight line all the way through, knowing that each panel is like, how I say it, 90 degrees, you know, perfectly, all aligned, all that. Then I just draw the characters and all that, and everything, all that good stuff. Then into the inking, and then scanning into the computer. But let's say if I were to actually, if I want to overlap something, I can't erase that. So that's why digital comes in handy. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. Yeah, there's a new way right here. And I use a program called Adobe Indesign, which is a professional program, so if you don't have it, you know, don't worry about it. Well, on to the drawing. Well, first you see here is a little sped up version of me drawing in the very rough lines. Drawing in the characters and all that. And now I am drawing Jeff's detail in one panel. He's talking to his sister Cindy. That's something. It's pretty cool to watch my drawing skills in fast motion. But this is in fast motion, this is real time. Right now as I am inking, and this is the finished inking final page here. Well, not final page, but it is now fully inked and ready to be scanned. Right here is my scanner / printer, and I scan it into Adobe Photoshop, where I do a lot of my digital paintings here. And of course I type the words, the letters. And I don't use Comic Sans anymore. Instead, I went to this website, glambot.com, where I can download a lot of comic fonts for, like, you know, sound effects and dialogue, all that. Then I print, then it's all ready to be colored with my Prismacolor markers and a few color pencils. And of course, you can't go wrong with Crayola markers. And here is the finished page. And that's how I make a comic. Well, keep in mind that this is how I do it. I'm not telling you this is the only way to do it. You know, if you're interested in making comics, just, you know, find your own path. Have your own method and routine, and you'll work better off of that. So, in case you're wondering if this is the first video you saw of me, well then, yeah, the comic that you just saw was Jeff and Taylor. I planned that out, the whole series, ever since I was in 9th grade. And so, if you want to see more information about Jeff and Taylor, just go to my website, jfmstudio.com. I have a link in the description box if you want it, and I also will have a link to on the website the first episode of Jeff and Taylor, G Station, and all pages, all 48 pages are there for you to see. So that's a free episode for you, and another link is down there. So if you want to, you can please like this video, comment, subscribe, and yeah, you're free to comment. Let me know what would you think of my G Station comic if you read it. So, alright. And also, to my subscribers out there, this semester is going to be very, very busy, so I won't be putting up videos, you know, like once every 2 weeks, like I usually do. So, yeah, I'm going to put videos here and there, maybe once a month. So, yeah, you really can't blame me for having a very busy semester. And I'm going to make sure that each new video out this summer will be worth it. So, I'll see you later, guys. JFM out.